Remember, guys, they haven't interfered in the human civilization creation ever. Never. Ever. Never. But, like, they're the gods of these humans to certain people, and they've clearly influenced the world, but they've never interfered when there's been war. But they've interfered to create the culture and improve it, and then there's war, and they're like, we won't help them, though.
Yeah, it's a bit... I feel like it's going to be a difficult pill for the audience to swallow with that one. People are not going to like that.
Didn't make sense. Like, the TV is like, hey, we get involved. The Watcher's like, I don't get involved. They're like, we don't get involved. But hello?
But sometimes, on special occasions, on the big boys, maybe.
But they didn't.
Yeah,
because they weren't there. Yeah. They weren't there for the big boy, the big purple ball sack of a man named Thanos. Hey, NarendraTheComic again!
India!
No, we got nonsense, but today we have the final trailer. Considering it's the second trailer and it's already the final trailer, I don't know what they're trying to do with this marketing for the Eternals, but I will say the last trailer had some good moments in it, but it wasn't a particularly good trailer.
I think they tried to get us on the intrigue factor to be like, the people you don't know about. But like, do I care?
Not really. Like, I'm more interested in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, that's because we've gotten character from the trailer. We understand where his journey has sort of started and where he's veered off and how he's kind of coming into his own path and destiny. That's been made clear. When there's one character to get behind, you jump in.
That really helps.
When there's numerous, am I really going to get to know them well enough to actually care about them?
Plus,
they
aren't
arcs?
distinct enough visually. Like, their costumes are all the same. This is how it is in the comics. So, like, you can't blame them for taking inspiration from that and using that. But they're not distinct enough. They don't stand out from each other enough. When you see Iron Man, you know it's Iron Man. When you see Thor, you know it's Thor. Captain America, Captain Marvel. You know it's Captain Marvel. But with these guys, it's the same suit, essentially, just with different colours. So it's like seeing Iron Man Mark 1 versus Iron Man Mark 2, and then seeing Iron Man Mark 3, Mark 4, and you're like, wait, but they're all Iron Man.
Yeah, I feel like this is even different from seeing War Machine, Rhodey, and Iron Man, because they had such distinct different builds and accoutrements to each of their marks. But with these guys, we don't really know them.
Plus, they've changed up the characters from the comics as well by race changing some characters, and some people who know the comics will be slightly put off by that because they might see a certain character assuming it's one, and then it's like, not that person.
I feel like it's very difficult. But then you said that the Eternals aren't exactly A-listers. You know, they're like E-listers.
Yeah.
When it comes to
Powerful, but in terms of comic notoriety, like they're E, D, F.
Then maybe the fans wouldn't mind too much because at least they're bringing them to the big screen.
It's true, but I mean, who really wants to see it? The fact that they didn't bring them in the Infinity Saga, specifically dealing with Thanos, another Eternal with deviant genes, kind of like he's half Eternal, half deviant. People getting a bit hyped up in the comments when I said that, but right, he's half Eternal, half deviant, essentially. For all intents and purposes, he's a hybrid. So because of that, and the fact they weren't involved in that, they didn't want to get involved in changing human civilization before that with threats. But Thanos comes along and they're like, well, we're not going to deal with that either. It's like, guys, this is the world-ending stuff. And then there's Wong like, yeah, I've got everyone. Stranger's like, is that everyone? And he's like, what, did you want more? He's like, well, these guys existed, and they're basically gods.
But maybe in the one version that Strange saw, they weren't included. So they weren't on the list, so Wong wasn't going to go and
That must have been it. But then the TVA brings in all these other types of problems with this stuff. But let's get to this trailer anyway. Hopefully this is a good movie, but I'm expecting more out of Shang-Chi than the Eternals at this point. Let's get to it. Let's go.
Is it Salma Hayek?
It is indeed.
5
on a
years ago,
horse.
Thanos erased half of the population of the universe.
So they're aware.
But the people of this planet brought everyone back with a snap of a finger. The sudden return of the population provided the necessary energy for the emergence to begin.
How long do we have?
7 days.
Oh, so they put a time limit on this.
That's a good thing in most cases.
Yeah.
We're Eternals. We came here 7,000 years ago to protect humans from the deviants.
Alright, so that's the design they got to fight. Icarus is very strong.
Why didn't you guys help fight Thanos? Or any war, all the other terrible things throughout history?
We were instructed not to interfere in any human conflicts unless deviants are involved.
By who?
Oh, they went there. Okay, they're going. Shit.
Who is that?
That's a Celestial.
Oh, you
We
mentioned.
need to find the others.
I haven't seen some of them for centuries.
Right, so they've all veered off to do their own things.
Hello.
This is what the end of the world looks like. At least we have front row seats.
You know what's never saved the planet? Your sarcasm.
We have loved these people since the day we arrived. When you love something, you protect
Oh,
it.
Camden. That's weird power.
You can't protect. Any of them.
A bit Avatar,
Yeah, that's
isn't it?
I was feeling.
I bet you've built the perfect safe house. I mean, what's this even made of? Vibranium?
Oh.
Fall collection.
IKEA.
I knew it. I felt it.
Alright, I mean, it was a good line. I don't think it really fit with the rest of the trailer. At least they gave us a show of what the Deviants are looking like and the design they're going for here. As I said, a bit Avatar in terms of 2009 James Cameron's Avatar. I think I clocked additionally what might be another problem in terms of differentiating these characters properly. Their powers all have the same color set.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they're all gold.
That is going to be tough for the average person to distinguish what their powers are really. Because they clearly have distinct powers for what they are able to do, but they all physicalize very similarly,
Yeah, I think.
right? When you look at Doctor Strange, the first Doctor Strange, everyone had the golden orange magic, but because the time stone, the person who had that had green magic. So it distinguished him more. With this, you need to be able to distinguish everyone. And if you're not going to do that, it's just going to become very samey. But there's a lot of backstory to be thrown in here, a lot of exposition as well. So that might be hard to sell, not necessarily to understand, but that might be hard to sell for Marvel, for the average viewer to be like, okay, fine.
I guess Salma Hayek's going to be exposition queen here as the explainer here, I think. There was something in the beginning about how when they snapped their fingers and they reversed Thanos' snap, that a large amount of energy was expunged, and I guess now that's kind of made Earth a beacon for deviants and celestials to keep their eye on it. So maybe that means that these guys have been exposed and now they are at risk and Earth is
No,
at
I don't
risk.
think they're exposed. The idea is what they said, that they'd never interfered. But the only reason they would interfere was if deviants were involved. So now seemingly there are deviants, so they're getting involved. And this might be an even bigger threat than Thanos. But then, again, as we said at the beginning, Thanos is part deviant. So why weren't they involved with Thanos? Did they not qualify him? Did they say, oh no, he's okay, he's not doing that bad a job?
Or maybe he's a hybrid, so we won't count him.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure I buy that. And if you're selling these people as more dangerous than Thanos, I don't know. I don't know how you can do that. How many of them do you think are going to die?
Oh, okay.
I don't know who's going to die. How many do you think is going to die?
Okay, there's a total of 10, right?
9 or 10?
9 or 10. I think 3 of them.
I'm thinking
Minimum.
2.
Because you can't keep these guys on the payroll.
No.
These guys are expensive.
I think Angelina Jolie might be a one and done. I think she's the one who's going to be a one and done, not Salma Hayek.
Yeah, I see Salma Hayek coming back.
Yeah.
I don't see Angelina Jolie
I
coming
think
back.
she's here for one film and she signed a one film deal and that's it.
In the trailer, there was that bit towards the end where her eyes sort of milked out.
Oh, yeah?
And she was being held by a deviant.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing she's being infected / turned.
Yeah.
Maybe mind control.
Yeah, I think they're
So,
going mind control
yeah.
here. Not the best plot point ever. Very generic. Very boring.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's not just basic mind control. That statue is a Celestial. So the Celestials created the Eternals.
Right. I think what's going to be difficult now is grounding this into the MCU and like making it fit in very seamlessly, because these godlike beings are now protecting Earth.
Yeah.
And these other godlike beings are now trying to destroy Earth But then we've got like Bucky and Falcon and Miss Marvel on the way.
But then you could say that before we got to this stage in the MCU. Like when you see characters like Doctor Strange or Captain Marvel and they're interacting with Captain America and Bucky and Falcon, it's like, well, there is a power dynamic there that is different and they've managed it so far pretty well. So I think it's going to be more difficult now because you don't have that grounding of those pre-existing characters, Cap, Iron Man, and they kept the one who is already ultra powerful in Thor.
Yes.
Because of that, I think they're either going to really push the power levels up from everyone, or they're going to make it even more unequal.
I think, but that unequal power set is a very difficult dynamic to function. Because if these guys are going to come together with the Avengers and the Eternals and everyone together, how are you going to do this? Because these guys are also like super old and very wise and knowledgeable, and they've come from like different galaxies. There are so many of them. It's not like there's one person with a godlike power or two people. There's like 10 of them or something.
There's also Kit Harington in this.
He's the Black Knight.
He is indeed. He is indeed.
There was that shot
Old
of
character.
him taking someone's like head off
Well,
their
I
shoulders
would
or
think
something.
that's him, but maybe that's just like another person killing someone on a horse. That might not actually be him. I would think it is, but
I don't
it might
think
not.
they would have included the shot if it wasn't.
But
someone
maybe
of the
it's
main
showing
cast.
like the Eternals not doing something when the people needed their help, and they just stood by and did nothing.
Right, so he's super old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he doesn't like the Eternals because he's had to deal with the stuff that they wouldn't clean up.
Maybe.
And so he's going to be against them, but then they're going to end up having to need each other and coming together, and they might become a team.
Black Knight has ties to like King Arthur, Arthurian legend. Does he just apparate the sword, or is the sword always with him? I think the sword has to be with him at all times. Causes a bit of a problem going through airports.
Yeah,
I think so.
imagine.
I'd say it was a better trailer than the last one. I think there was more there. They gave a bit more of the story, a bit more reasoning as to why they're doing what they're doing now as opposed to not doing it before.
What did you think about the visualization of the Celestials with those like fiery eyes?
I mean, that's like straight out.
Oh, is that what
That's
it's meant to be?
straight
Exactly.
out, 100%. That was as comic accurate and wacky as anything I've ever seen in the MCU.
It did look pretty wacky. I didn't want to say it, but like
Nah.
it kind of did.
Yeah, it's they went hard there. They didn't skimp. They said we're going balls deep, balls to the wall. November 5th. November 5th. See what they done there? They haven't said in cinemas November 5th. They haven't said on streaming on Disney Plus November 5th.
Yeah.
Because they know what most people know, and that's I'm not sure this is going to do that well in the cinema. Shang-Chi might do decently. I'm not sure this will do well at all. And they are playing their cards as close to their chest, saying if it comes to November 5th and they think it's worth doing a Disney Plus release, they're going to do it. And they're just going to say like a day before, a week before, coming out on Disney Plus.
Yeah, they will. I think they've put a lot of money into this, and they don't want to be losing any money. So I think they're just going to see what the sort of reception Shang-Chi gets, and also see the numbers are like in cinemas in general, see if it's going higher or lower, and make a decision based on that.
Yeah.
Because a month or two ago it was slowly rising, and now it's dropping again.
Now it's dropping off. Yeah, it was increasing a lot over the last 2-3 months, and now it's coming away a lot. So when you look at Black Widow, Marvel have lost money on Black Widow, no matter how you break that down, and Shang-Chi is seemingly not going to make any money either. Not of any fault of its own, not of any fault of Black Widow's, but it's just the world we live in, and maybe budgets need to be cut and they need to be making films for cheaper, because you can't be sustainable on $200 million budgets when your box office return is $400 million. It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. So maybe this will be a tester for them, just like Shang-Chi, just like Black Widow was, because that was a tester for Marvel. It was an experiment, as Simu Liu got annoyed at being called with Shang-Chi, even though that's exactly what Black Widow was as well. It was an experiment for Disney to see how well Black Widow would do in cinemas and how well it would do on Disney Plus. And they're not doing that with Shang-Chi, but they might do it with the Eternals. I'm leaning towards saying, yeah, it's gonna be on Disney Plus. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, Thanos himself gonna come after you. You don't want that. No. Do they want that?
No.
You really don't, so just subscribe anyway to avoid that. I've been NarendraTheComic.
I've been India.
She's been on Sensei. You've been Graham. We'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. If you don't know, make a video every single day. Been doing it every day for over 1,000 days now. We ain't stopping till we get to 10,000 subscribers. So do subscribe. Pop back again tomorrow for some more quality shitty content. So hashtag never not here, just how it goes. Also bring the Bakwas. Bakwas means nonsense in Punjabi, and we also bring that. Bring a lot. Bring a little, do a lot, do a little, but we do indeed bring the quality shitty content on a daily basis. So see you tomorrow. More of the same, slightly different, but essentially the very same. Once more, see you then. Skadoosh.